What's up, you guys? Uh, it's almost, well, it is afternoon. I'm so tired. Can't tell the difference no more sometimes. And then, with this age stuff, getting older. But I ain't trying to bash us like that as older people. But I was just sitting here feeling some type of way, y'all. So I decided to take a walk. You know, and I was just going through some stuff, and I'm like, I know I'm trying, but Lord, I'm still sad. Like, why do these things make me so sad? So what's making me sad? What are one of the things that made me sad today? People trying to get over on you. I don't like when people try to get over on me or anybody. I don't like it. I felt some type of way, and I prayed about it. I prayed about it before, and I prayed about it after. So I'm chill. But I'm like, God, my feelings hurt. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to claim this, but I'm just going to feel. I'm going to feel it. You know what I'm saying? Because when you've been through so much, after a while, you just know when to not fight back. You know what I'm saying? Especially just let it go in the moment, like quickly. So I didn't quickly, let it go. I'm just like, let me feel this, I'm like, I just thank God that I'm able to feel sad and let it go. I don't want to, it's kind of hard to say things that you want to say, whether people want to agree with it or not, as far as your life and how to help, others from your experience. A lot of people disagree, at the same time. And I feel like it's because once you learn how to, get back going, it's hard to stop. You know what I'm saying? You don't care what people think for real, why they think it, and stuff like that. But I do, and I'm thankful for all the stuff that I've been through because it really do teaches us for moments like this. And, an example of what I had to go through, I'm not going to tell the situation, but I will just say some men's are so feminine, about a lot of things. They don't see it. Just like when they call us masculine, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we don't know it. Sometimes we know. Because when you know the difference, you know what I'm saying? You gotta play your masculine and feminine in different time frames, and you know what I mean? But when you balance both, it's like, please don't play with me. Do that make sense? Because we balance each other, y'all. And I say this a lot. As far as like being connected, we don't have to like it. It's not about gender. Because over here in survivor's mode, you know what I'm saying? It sucks. Nobody want to survive. But sometimes it's like, you do what you got to do. And a lot of times we make it look so good that people underestimate, you know what I'm saying, your time frame. And I'm just like, I be lost for words because when are we going to hold ourselves accountable? Listen, I do hate, that's a strong word, so I'll just use another word. I despise, very much so, what was I going to say? What was I going to say? I really do despise how, thank you, Lord, that's what I was going to say. A lot of men don't want to acknowledge learning from us. People like me. You know what I'm saying? Look, I even got my hat on backwards, y'all. I'm so tired. You understand? When you see me, you're going to always see me in the same hat. For some reason, I just like to stick to one thing sometimes because it just make me feel, I don't know, like my good luck type of survivor things. You know what I'm saying? Life I be going through. But I do. I hate that, when you look a certain way, but you talk a certain way, like with some sense. I don't like how women's, we got to be out here taking care of our business. You know what I'm saying? It's hard sometimes, especially when you got to do big things like look for a car, pay for a house, anything business, anything that's big kind of. You need partners sometimes. But here's the thing. You don't have to be in a relationship. Listen, I'm going to say this. I just want to get to the point. One thing about men's, I don't care. They crazy, not stupid. They are not settling. And so, prime example. You know what I'm saying? When you're looking for a car, you look at the body first. For some reason, we look at the body. A lot of people don't look at the details. You look at the body. And then after a while, when you go through so much experience, you learn to look at the details more than you look at the body. And you pay attention to their patterns. How many owners, how the car was kept up. And I feel like we learn these things as we get older, because there's nothing wrong with getting what you want, what you like. You should, because that's how you go learn. You know what I'm saying? Because I done had a few vehicles that I like, very newer ones, and then eventually they broke down, or I always had to get it fixed. But it was very rare, and it was always around a time where income tax about to come and I can get another one. So I never really experienced, a vehicle for at least longer than 5 years, I'll say. The longest I ever had a vehicle was 3 years, 3.5 years. That's pretty decent, but it was still based off on the vehicle. So, so when I'm out in public and I'm dealing with different people to help me with certain things, like cars, all right, y'all get where I'm going. If you follow me, you follow me. And a lot of times, people will, I'm using myself as an example, but I'm here as a general, to be general, about summing everything up. How people can really just misunderstand you for how you look. Let me tell you something, though. First of all, I definitely agree that we should never come outside looking a mess, looking a certain type of way. I ain't gonna even lie about that. But if you going about your day, early in the morning or, late at night, unless you're going out, but by that time stores and stuff should be closed, so you should be in the bed, unless you're going out, you know what I'm saying? And so I like to get my stuff done early or late at night. I like to do me a little bit, chill, walk, and then go back in, because when you're in survivor's mode, you're learning how to come up out of that mindset, because number one, you still have a goal to keep going, even though you don't even see, how it's going to go, because a lot of times our stuff can get turned so many ways. And I'm just like, okay, God, I see. People can treat you so different when you look good. But then when you open your mouth, they're like, Because I'm saying, when you got some common sense, please use it. Don't ever fight against and don't ever chase. Especially when you feel like your gut is saying, that don't, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean don't try. It just means try first. But sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you know, you gonna get that gut feeling where it's like, all right, this ain't it. But you try it. And it's like, you got to look at your motivation. I'm like, I'm just so tired of dealing with people, especially our men, because it's like, once you get it, after, like, especially a woman, to be determined, I ain't gonna lie, when you dress like this half of the time, yeah, I was like, okay, God, see, let me mark this down. But it shouldn't change. Like, I feel like our men should be more helpful regardless. Because I know, like, most men, when it comes to business, they are very helpful. I ain't gonna lie, but they not gonna play about their business either. And I respect it. And I can go head to toe without being offensive. Just so, 11:11, when I said that, just so, you know, people can feel comfortable in the end. Because I'm never gonna leave on a bad note. I'm never gonna leave, you know, with a misunderstanding. But here's the thing. Misunderstanding is gonna happen. Okay? It's gonna happen. But we got to learn from that, women's. We got a job to do no matter what, no matter how people try to make us feel the way we look. You know what I'm saying? I don't always look this way, but when I'm surviving, I don't care as long as I'm decent. You know what I mean? I could take my hat off, fix my hair, whatever, open up my coat, take it off, put it to the side or whatever, and then, you know, people see, oh yeah, she's human. She really do got a face. But I'm just saying, like, I know this is gonna hurt a lot of people when I say this, but when you learn from stuff like this, do better. Because I'm talking to myself, and I'm not saying we should ever try to, you know, do different because people treat us different. No. At the end of the day, still look decent. This is decent enough as far as walking around. But when you're going to go take care of business, because it don't make no sense to go head to toe with certain people who don't know how to really do business when you do dress like this. Because if I was to go and if I had the money, I wouldn't even care how I look sometimes, to be real with you. I don't think a lot of people even thought about how they look for real. They just know if they going somewhere that look good and it's quality, you know what I'm saying, over quantity, the value, baby, you know them people gonna serve you. You got that money. But it's certain things like that that inspire you to take care of yourself in a better way to receive. Because you know it's yours. Say if you got the money, you know it's yours. But like when you just out here and you struggling and people look at you, you cool 1 minute until you open your mouth and show you got some sense. And you ask questions. Sometimes they make you feel like you trying to get over on them. But it's your business. This your business. This your business. Y'all, I'm so tired. Look like I'm high. I ain't even smoke. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, where's my energy going to? You know, you ever felt this way? And it's like, it is kind of hard to do what I'm supposed to be doing. Because I finally figured out, y'all, I ain't supposed to be doing, like, my spirit. And that's why I've been lagging on my video. Because I did this before on Facebook. And it wasn't for me no more. You know, because your life is not about letting everybody in all the time just because you can live. Anybody can fucking live, but that's the moment you keep to yourself. And if you do, you know what I'm saying, you need support. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you obligated. It's just make it make sense. Because when people see more on one accordance, same vibe, same alignment, it says something. So when you by yourself, prime example, myself, I may not have had much, I may not have done much, but I know I've done enough. Even though it don't make me happy all the time, because most of it involves my children, but it don't matter because my babies doing for them is doing for myself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm just thankful no matter what because I get it. And I just pray and I just wish, you know what I'm saying, somebody can hear this message with an ear to hear, because I'm trying to make a point that it is very impossible sometimes to tell people anything when you're not really living it or look like you're not living it. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing. I've been guided to do my YouTube channels, but for some reason, after everything I've been through, I knew it was the next level. Because I'm like, ooh, you know how you finna go to that next grade, but it give you a fright. You scared, but you know it's not like a bad scare, but sometimes it can feel bad because the environment you in, how you been raised, you know, stuff that you just like, man, you know, I just wish if I can just, you know, get this education, I know I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Do better things, whatever. But it's like that with me. I have so much to show that I know, like, if I can just slow down, I want to be in a moment with my people to let y'all know, like, somebody is here with you. You know, maybe even on the same level, you know, or just in a position where I know I'm far off than most. You know, because I had a lot of options when I was called to do my YouTube, and I just wasn't sure which one it was, because I like to talk, but what am I talking about if I'm not showing you? So I'm like, maybe I just need to do a vlog, you know what I'm saying, instead of a podcast. But you know, you can do anything, you can do it all, but I do know for sure you got to do one thing at a time, and I'd rather do what I love, you know what I mean? So excuse me, you know, just respectfully to my peoples out there who do feel a way when you look at somebody but you feel different. But I don't apologize entirely, you know, because I'm trying to keep it going without really just stopping anymore, because consistency is the key. Keep practicing until you get better. When I first started, you know, back on my videos, I didn't know where to begin. I just knew I had to keep going, keep trying, but I still have to get stuff done first, because that's the main thing. You got to still make sure you take care of your business. But not only that, you got to learn how to multitask. So take your time. It's very true when you hear that. It's so true. Take your time, because what's for you is for you. And it's not because you're tired of going through the same thing. It's you're going to get tired sometimes. And it is a difference when you're going through the same thing. So when you're gentle with yourself, you can talk yourself out of certain things so you can hurry up and get there. Not rushing, but like, we're going to get there, you know? So I was just, you know, like, I just wanted to share that because I feel some type of way. I don't want to just ever get on here, y'all, and it sounds like I'm just talking about myself. Sometimes, you know, like I said before, we just want to have somebody to just be they self, be there, you know, for us, and be normal for once. You know what I'm saying? Because nowadays people laugh at you. Nowadays people talk about this type of lifestyle and laugh at you. The ignorance is turned up. And so I just enjoy this moment, and I'm just giving it my best because, you know, I feel like somebody could possibly use, you know, what I had shared, you know, people trying to get over on you. And so when you spiritual, you still did what you were supposed to do. Even though that thing didn't work out, you still served your purpose. You came to serve motherfuckers, to do better. And people don't appreciate that. 1919, they don't appreciate that until one day they're going to have to remember you. So I'm telling you, you do make a difference. You do. You know what I'm saying? It's times where I don't have it all like how I want. But if I want to do did up, you know, my face, my clothes, what's the purpose anymore when you got to take care of business? And this is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make a point. If you running a business, Be a little more professional if you're going to be professional. If it's just going to be business, don't be trying to. Here's the thing. Sometimes I just feel like men's ain't learning no more. They not properly learning from us women's. It's like sometimes I want to go back old school so people can learn from where, like, the beginning, like how it all started. Boys on this side, girls on this side. Like, what is it going to take for somebody just to be like, okay, we're going to work this out regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this for you. You know, and it's not because they're showing favor. It's like, I'm talking about working with you. I'm talking about, okay, if you got it, you know, around this time, we're going to do this. We're going to, whatever, we can work this out. I'm not talking about, you know, mugs trying to make it seem like you ain't got no sense, because it's not like you flirting. Because nowadays, when you look like this, you can't flirt without being a whore, without being assumed you're a Jezebel. So yeah, do better for yourself when it's time to learn. Learn from that. I'm not going to change how I look. It's something to think about. But when I'm done being tired, baby, that's going to come with it. Okay, this ain't working no more. Because first of all, why should I have to change locations just because y'all don't want to be professional? It's something about your hometown, your home city, that do something for you, man. Like, I may not like my home all the time as far as the city, but I will always love it. I will always come back and support, always. And that's the reason why we move forward, because we need to show people by example that you don't have to stay and take the bullshit just because your family there, just because you know it's workable. Work with it. But if it ain't gonna work for you, move. I'm not talking about to a different location. I'm talking about move around. You understand? But then I'm just like, you know, I know when better things come, sometimes you're forced to move to a different location. It don't even have to be far. It don't have to be much. It's just an upgrade to where you know you can have a choice. You get what I'm saying? So wherever you are, hold on. Because even though it don't make sense to me, I talk to God about this all the time, about I almost said my lives, because I'm used to doing lives, you know, and so I'm thinking about doing different videos here and there so y'all can see how I live my life, which is what I feel like I've been called to do. I wasn't as sure at first, you know, because there was so much going on with my trauma, trying to, you know, process everything, and I'm like, you know, I got to do this video and then pause it and then continue it, you know, or do the shorts and stuff. And I'm just like, I just like to talk. I just want to get on there and talk, say what I got to say and get gone. But it's not that simple. It's not, you know, not when you have a love for people and passion. So like when y'all see me get on here, I really am passionate. I really am giving it my all, because anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is don't rush. You know, it ain't nothing to rush. It's just, you just got to know why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm doing it because I'm holding on to something, to hope as far as humanity. I'm holding on to still being different. Even though we're the same, we're different. You know, and a lot of us ain't as normal no more, because like I said, when you just want to be yourself, people talk about you, they laugh at you, and I don't want, you know, us to be walking around looking stupid because people be like, no, that's not true. And it is, because ain't nobody finna just link up on you like that. Like, they not finna just come up under you like that. This is why God really desired for us to really gain knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Because these spiritual streets will teach you some spiritual wisdom more than knowledge, but for sure both. And a lot of us find ourselves on these streets and we don't have the knowledge like we used to. You know, people teaching differently, and this is what I'm talking about. This goes back to business, the teachers, the leaders. Us leaders, we have to be in a position, especially when you're chosen, to really like teach people how we can work around what they're trying to do, what they're trying to say. Because anybody can yap and send you on. But you don't notice that until you need something in return. Like, we're going to work this out. So don't depend on that. Depend on yourself. You're going to get disappointed, because I was disappointed. I was hurt. But I'm like, man, when I thought about it, I'm like, I'm working with something. I'm tired. I done picked up my little bad habits when I first got, back on my own. And I noticed my sleep pattern was totally different. I didn't notice it off back because my body was still up. It was like still moving, like in shock. And I'm telling you something. Don't focus on it too much. It's not as bad as you think. It only becomes bad. See, listen. See, I just felt something. Don't keep trying to question it before it get there. That's what I'm trying to tell you, before you get there. So you pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still going to have to work towards certain things in order to know. But right now, you don't really know. You don't all the way know. You just know, like, what you know, because I'm willing. So before you say you ready, did you really pray about it? Have you been working on these things? Because sometimes your plans can go left and you can forget about your dreams and your goals, and it happens. But don't give up on it. If I can tell you, I'm gonna tell you straight up. Don't give up on it. It ain't gone. It's just sometimes things have to change, switch up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just have to switch up, So y'all just be encouraged. Thank you for tuning in if you did. Thank you for returning back. If you came back, I greatly appreciate you. God is good. This is your girl, Miss Universe. And welcome. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good day. I don't want to make this video too long because it takes forever to upload. Don't let nobody play you. Use this moment to learn. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna lie, it's hard. Because you really taking notes. You really taking notes, but don't overthink it. Don't overdo it. Do your best and be genuine in your heart, because spirit goes with your they go with the vibration. That is so real. When you're a mother or a parent, you know what I'm talking about. Especially when you're a mother and you know your kids like the back of your hand. You can feel. I raised you right. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't there yet, you're going to get there. I'm praying. I'm rooting for you. But get there if you're not. Because spirit they work with the vibration. So even though I know, like, if I had this, I wouldn't look like this, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't even be here in the first place. So what's the purpose of going through what we're going through? It's the reason why we're going through it, so we can appreciate it. When we go forward and we look back, I'm like, man, I really learned something. Let it be valuable. Don't let it be in vain. Because what we're going through is valuable. It sucks. I ain't gonna lie. You got to live next to people you don't want to live next to. You got to work with people you don't want to work with. But you're no better than nobody. We're no better than each other like that, y'all. We're just as equal. I'm not saying, we all got to be in the same category, the same boat. I'm not saying that, but some of us are. You know what I'm saying? And, it's just very rare that we come across each other anymore, because we're scattered, God's children, or chosen ones, shall I say. A little bit of both, but chosen one for sure. Seem like we're so much scattered. And we're here, though. And I just want to do my best to make a difference, because y'all, I'm tired. And I said, this is it. This is it. Because when I felt sad earlier, I was like, yeah, look, God just gave it back to me. I'm working with something, because I'm feeling again. That means whatever it is, it's working. And I just know when God is working. Sometimes I just want to know right now. I just want it right now. But I'm like, I know it's okay to still try. You know, you're just more grateful when he give you a chance to just deal with it. So please deal with it. Be grateful, y'all. Show some gratitude, and stand out. You know, we as one, but stand out. Okay. So y'all come on back. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's it. I'll talk to y'all again. All right. When the time is right, let me get myself together. I'm outside. You know what I'm saying? Go back home soon. My baby's gonna be out of school. You know, we can get older, and I need some time to myself. And I be doing things I don't be want to do, y'all, sometimes. But sometimes I do it because it make me feel grown. And it's like, nah, it's just a moment. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And when you get tired of it, it ain't gonna be there no more. I know what I'm talking about. 'Cause I did it so many times. You know, and it ain't just with the bad habits. I'm talking about things where it's just like trying to find a home, you know, didn't work out, but eventually it worked out. Didn't work out, but eventually it worked out. And then that's when, you know, you start grabbing onto them habits a little too long, you know what I'm saying? Because some of us slip up, but it's a moment. And, you know, and if you're not doing nothing bad, you know, sometimes that extra stuff make you feel so worse. So if you're going to do it, do it. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we shouldn't be around a lot of people all the time, y'all, because with growth come maturity, y'all. Okay? And when you know better, you do better. So God bless y'all. Y'all stay up. You know, keep your head up. Enjoy this season. You know what I'm saying? Let's be here for one another the best way we can. Let's not give more than what we can, okay? So I just want to share that with y'all from earlier. And you know, it ain't just that one time. It's an ongoing thing. And I'm just like, Lord, I did this before, and it was far more things that was more important than this, but it's just as important. So it's like, you just got to take things individually for what it is. And, you know, because they all like together, but they individual, and they all work the same. But it's like, be so many red flags with the government and people who work for them. The things you see, the things you hear is fucked up. So I pray all of our divine masculines can really wake up and start protecting us by doing what they love. You know what I'm saying? Because when we do what we love, people eating off us, and we got to pray 10 times more. That's what it feels like half the time, yeah, because we women's, and people count on us for everything. And it's like, we ain't got no option when we do. It's just, don't get it mixed up just because you got a lot of things to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we just got to take our position, y'all. And I just wish our divine masculine step up without thinking it's always about sex, or, you know, even though they think simple. But, you know, I just wish that some of us I wish that some of the men's who are little low vibration don't underestimate us all the time. Because, you know, if you knew, you wouldn't. But some of y'all don't know. Excuse me. You know, when you feel like, you know, girls always snappy or snapping back, that's because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about if you play the part. You know what I'm saying? If you can take accountability right now. But if not, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not talking about everybody like that. Because I hate when I get on any type of social media and we just generally just speak on people, and as if we in, like, y'all talking to me. But I don't respond, because I'm like, you know, it touched me a little bit, because, you know, sometimes you get touched when it's not true. But it don't stay long. It don't stick because it's not true. But when you're a good person, you just be like, what? You want to say something? Nah, say that energy. Y'all think that shit is a joke, saving your energy and giving it out? Who you talking about? But if it's going to be general, on top of that, I genuinely ask my divine men's, to do better, you know, with your discernment as well. And, you know what I'm saying? And forgive your mother, because this is sad. Got my head hurting, okay? And I'm truly humble right now because I'm on a time limit, you know what I'm saying? And we got things to do. And I'd rather walk and do my videos with y'all, but it's times where I just want to be by myself. And I'm just not figuring out, I don't have to do these videos, but I did it because I wanted to remember who I am and why I'm doing it. And, you know, just to shake me up, to, even though I don't see where it's going, I just knew it's still something more than just this. And so I'm just doing this for now, and I'm not quoting anything. I just feel like it's, it's more to life than just talking to people, because if you're going to do it from your heart. But if you're not, be mindful, because people watch and they feel and they can feed from you, and you don't know what you're picking up. Because like I say, anybody can be themselves. Anybody can pick this phone up. That's what it's for. But if it's not for you, don't force it, because whatever's easy, if it's too good to be true, it ain't true. Prime example for earlier. And I wanted it so bad. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, God, at least I prepared myself. You also prepared me too. But I just took my chances, because, that's how we learn, y'all. Sometimes God be trusting us to still do our research, taking chances, because sometimes I be feeling like I'm over talking God just a little, because I'm learning how to consult with him on everything. I'm talking about verbally. I'm not used to that, because the struggle of survival was so tense. F my head up. And I'm used to moving in here and not so much of this. And when I do use this, it's my shield. So I'm very careful and mindful of what I say and how I say it anymore. It's with my body language, because it's real out here. Especially as a mom, I'm learning how to really get better with my speech. And it was laid on my heart, language. We need to learn our language, in our spiritual world and physically, because it plays a big part, y'all. So with that being said, I am going to end it. This is intuitive, universal love, where we are all connected. And it's not all so bad over here on this side. Okay? We got some good things over here too. But we just got to make the best of it. All right? So I love y'all. God bless you. Take care. Have a good day.